Saturday in Ames, Iowa quarterback Jake Rudock will add another first to his resume. His first college road game as a starter. But it won't be his first big game away from home. Remember, Jake went to Florida's St. Thomas Aquinas High School. That's a football factory which plays games all over the country and even has some on ESPN. So the coaches on both sidelines don't expect Jake to be a deer in the headlights.
His attitude's been great. He seems to be very aware. This is the first time he'll be on the road, and this is not an easy environment by any means to walk into.
He knows what big games are all about. He knows what pressure is. He's won a lot of football games. He's very composed, very poised. He's a good football player, and their team has benefited from his expertise.
After the game Saturday night, we'll have an extra long Hawkeye Extra right here on Fox 28 to break down everything from the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series showdown. 2 weeks into their season, the Cedar Rapids Kennedy football team is walking with a little swag. It might be because of their 2 fourth-quarter comebacks. Or, as Zach Hanley found out at Cougar practice this week, it might be because of a Kennedy tradition so sacred they only do it once a week, and they wouldn't do it in front of our cameras.
Ready? Push now, come on, let's go.
The numbers are down for the Kennedy football team, but the wins are up. For the first time since 2008, the Cougars kicked off their season 2-0.
It's kind of surreal to think that going from 0-5 to 2-0 it's kind of weird to think of that way, but we're just going to keep riding on the fire that we've got going so far.
And what fuels their fire is speed.
I think we have one of the fastest teams in the state.
All because a bunch of the guys that finished 4th in the state in track traded in their spikes for football helmets.
You know, you look at any high school and that's got a good track program, and they probably have a good athletic program, because whether you're talking about football or basketball or even baseball anymore, speed is such a vital part of all that.
But what really gets these Cougars roaring is a little chant they do the night before each game that head coach Tim Lewis brought over from Central College.
1, 2.
They just pick a senior every year to stand in the middle, and then he leads.
We're going to go to start 28 on 1. Ready?
Down by the river, took a little walk.
Met up with a Trojan.
And we had a little talk, and so we dunked him in the river.
Strung him on the line.
Beat them Trojans any old time.
And that's what the Cougars will chant on Thursday, hoping it's not the only streak that continues after Friday night.
So Cougs on me, Cougs on 3, 1, 2, 3, go.
In Cedar Rapids, Zach Hanley, Fox 28 Sports.
Thank you, Zach. Hey, speaking of high school football, or really any sport in general, if you know a coach that you think does an exceptionally good job both on and off the sidelines, we want to hear about him or her. Nominate them for the Ed Thomas Coach of the Week. Just go to our website, fill out the nomination form. We're looking for any coach from any level of sports that can be the Ed Thomas Coach of the Week. We're doing this in conjunction with the Ed Thomas Family Foundation, and every Thursday night we will recognize one coach that best exemplifies Ed Thomas's core values of faith, family, and football. The best of the best. Still to come, Byron Buxton continues to follow in Mike Trout's footsteps. But just how similar are their numbers from their time in Cedar Rapids? Find out later on the Fox 28 News at 9. While Iowa and Iowa State battle for that Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Trophy on Saturday, this week is also pretty big for 2 other bitter college rivals in the state, Coe and Cornell. They'll meet 4 times this week in 4 different sports as part of their year-long Bremner Cup series. It culminates Saturday with football, but today it's men's soccer and women's volleyball. Let's start with soccer, and whether you're a Cohawk or a Ram today, we are all Americans, and those are some sharp-dressed kids. Coe already up a goal in the second. They could have another here, but Jordan Stetzer is there to snag it. 25 minutes left in the game. Free kick for the Cohawks. Setzer makes the initial save, but Josh Sykes is there to get a toe on the ball. Coe goal 2-0. Cohawks had the ball virtually the entire second half on another free kick. Setzer going to make the save, and then, look, Sebastian Cook runs into him. Setzer's like, hey, man, hey, come on, I'm walking here. You got a problem? Well, he would have a problem. Coe wins 2-0, so they're up 2-1 in the Cup Series. How about volleyball now? Those Patriots are everywhere tonight. They're just growing in number. They walked from the football field to EB Fieldhouse. This is the second set. Rams with some finesse. Catherine Devlin with the touch kill to give Cornell the lead. Cohawks respond with power. Brianna Smith Yeah! Power pays off in the end. Cornell on the attack, but Rachel Bosworth for Co with the vicious block. Co-Hawks win 3-2, and they're now up 3-1 in the Bremner Cup Series. Football is Saturday. For the second time in 4 seasons, baseball fans in Cedar Rapids get to say they watched some of the best on the diamond. Baseball America named Kernels outfielder Byron Buxton as the Minor League Player of the Year. That pairs nicely with the Midwest League MVP award he's already won. And he joins Mike Trout, remember him, as just the second Kernel ever to be named best in the minors. Byron played just 68 games in Cedar Rapids, but he easily became the face of the franchise after leading the offense in the first half of the season. So this got us thinking, how did Byron's half a year with the Kernels compare to Trout's 2010 campaign? So here are the numbers. Remember, Byron played in just 68 games to Trout's 81, so the fact that he had more home runs and more RBIs is really impressive. All the other numbers are pretty similar, though, and we all know what Trout went on to do. Rookie of the Year, second in the MVP voting last season, so Buxton has some big shoes to fill. I think he can do it. Let's go to the bigs. Cubs still trying to have a say in the NL Central. They can sweep the Reds. Mike Leake would have nothing of it. He's a Sun Devil, gets Starlin Castro looking. Then in the third, Anthony Rizzo swinging. Next inning, Darwin Barney. Yeah, thanks for playing. Have a seat. Leake went 5 2/3 scoreless, gave up 4 hits, struck out 6. Bottom of the inning, Devin Mesoraco, awesome, takes Jeff Samardzija deep to left for a solo home run. Then in the 6th, with runners on the corners, Jack Hanahan, 3-run shot. Cincinnati wins easily 6-0 to avoid the sweep, so they keep pace in the NL Central. Meanwhile, the Brewers are shutting out the Cardinals right now. That's 1-0 in the 7th. Pittsburgh with a 7-5 win over Texas. Those 3 teams, the Cardinals, the Reds, and the Pirates, are going to take it right down to the wire. That's all for sports. Corey has the last check of your forecast, though, when the Fox 28 News at 9 returns.